It's to be expected. I keep trying to tell people, you have a prison uniform on. See, the people that showed up on the scene, I read a little something about that, and apparently from what I can make of it is, they spotted that prison uniform. I mean, in the system of white supremacy, the prison uniform is a dark skin, non-white skin, particularly what they call black skin, is a prison uniform. You're a prisoner of war. When you spot that prisoner of war with the prison uniform, which is the skin color, black, and that prisoner has a gun, that's a no-no in a prison system called the system of white supremacy. So you automatically, that's just a reflex. It's not personal or anything like that. It's a reflex. Everybody's been taught that. Black people have been taught that. That black skin, that's a prisoner of war. What is he doing with a gun? I mean, he's got no business with a gun. He's a prisoner of war. Or she is a prisoner of war. Shoot. Shoot. Ask questions later. Because you got no business with that gun. Now, that uniform that they put on made out of cloth, that didn't matter at all. The uniform is not the cloth. The uniform is the skin color. Every black person on the planet has to know that 24 hours a day. Otherwise, this is going to continue. Of course, it's going to continue anyway, but we should at least understand that. If that had been me, I would have, hey, now the people who respond to this situation, first thing they're going to see is a black guy with a gun. That's me. And I'm going to be toast in a few seconds. So I got to hide this gun or do something, lay down on the sidewalk or something before they get here. Because what they're going to see is a black person, a male, with a gun. End of story. I'm dead. I got to think that way. I got to think that way. And everybody that's listening to this program, I mean, security guards. You got a lot of black security guards in the Northwestern Hemisphere in shopping centers and whatnot. You better understand that. That should be a part of what they teach you in the course when you get to be the guard in a shopping center or something. And they single you out. They should, say, well, now, in that class, if they got one, when they teach you what the protocols, what the procedures are going to be, they say, now, when it comes to the black fellows here, remember, if you got that gun in your hand, when the sheriff shows up, or the highway patrol, and they come rolling in, 3 and 4 cars, sirens blasting, all right, everybody jumping out, shotguns, the whole 9 yards, all right, and you're trying to apprehend somebody, you better make sure that they don't spot you with that gun in your hand, or you are it. Forget about everybody else. You're it. You're the target. Everybody opens up on you. Think about that. Keep that in mind. Since they don't tell you, I'm telling you the way I would look at it. Because, see, I would be thinking about that all the time. My prison uniform, that's the thing that's going to stand out more than anything in that shopping center. You're in danger. Being black on the planet, all right, is guilty as charged. I'm guilty of what? I'm guilty of what? Being black on planet Earth. Guilty. Wake up and smell the coffee, fella. This is all of us.
Okay.
We have to think like that. We have to think like that.
Yes, sir.
All the time, 24/7. Without, people might say that, well, now, you're kind of overblowing it, don't you think, Fuller? It ain't that bad. Yes, it's that bad. And people who suddenly have to learn that the hard way know how bad it is. See, you can't look in the mirror and see what other people see in the system of white supremacy. You say, I'm a nice guy. I mean, I don't bother anybody. I do things, and, try to treat people right.
Yes.
And I just go to work and try to make a living. Oh, no. You're a prisoner of war. And bad things might happen at any moment to prisoners of war. Bad things happen to prisoners of war. Why? Because we're prisoners of war. I mean, you're just guilty of just being here. Guilty of being, black while existing. That's a horrendous crime for a person. We have to see it that way here in 2018.
Okay.
And it's going further and further and further deep into being that way, regardless of all the singing and dancing that we do and getting on television and making jokes and all like that. I mean, it is steady getting worse.
Okay.
And we have to look at it like that it might even get 10 times worse than it is.
Okay.
You have to think that way.
Okay.
You must think that way.